The sudden death of Will Rothschild, found in a burning Hollywood home, has left many questions unanswered. This marks the second loss for the Rothschild family in the same year, following the passing of Lord Jacob Rothschild. With the family already surrounded by mystery, the timing of these events raises even more intrigue. What's behind these tragic deaths, and what secrets might they reveal? Let's find out more. The mysterious death. On November 27, 2024, a tragic event unfolded in the Hollywood Hills that shook the tight-knit community and raised many questions. A reclusive member of the famous Rothschild banking family, Will Rothschild, was found dead in his home after a house fire. The fire, which occurred in the late afternoon, quickly drew the attention of emergency responders, but despite their best efforts, Rothschild could not be saved. Authorities have since launched an investigation into the cause of the fire, but many details about what happened remain unclear. At around 4:40 p.m. Pacific time that day, the Los Angeles Fire Department was called to a blaze at a property located at the 8500 block of Lookout Mountain Avenue in the Hollywood Hills. The two-story home, situated on the hillside, was engulfed in flames on the first floor. The fire department dispatched a team of 45 firefighters to the scene, who quickly got to work. Within 33 minutes, the fire was contained and fully extinguished. The flames, fortunately, did not spread to nearby vegetation or other residences, which could have caused a larger disaster in the densely populated area. Despite their swift response, emergency responders discovered a tragedy. Upon entering the house, they found the lifeless body of an elderly male. The person was later identified by neighbors as Will Rothschild. Rothschild, a member of the highly influential British-German Rothschild banking dynasty, had been living a largely private life. Those who knew him personally described him as a reclusive millionaire, keeping to himself and avoiding the public eye. Will Rothschild's life was one of privacy and seclusion. Known for his wealth and ties to one of the most powerful banking families in the world, he had a reputation for keeping a low profile. The house where he died was described as modest by Hollywood Hills standards, with an estimated value of $1,076,000. It was a two-bedroom, one-bathroom property, not particularly large by the area's typical standards, but sufficient for someone who preferred solitude. Neighbors mentioned that they rarely saw him around, and some assumed the house had been vacant for a long time. Those who did know Rothschild spoke highly of him, noting that he was a quiet, respectful man who lived peacefully in the neighborhood. Neighbor Jim Moore, in an interview with local news outlets, described Rothschild as a good guy and a good neighbor. For many, Rothschild's death came as a shock, and the news spread quickly throughout the community. It was not just the fire that was alarming, but the suddenness and mystery surrounding his death. The cause of the fire remains under investigation by the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Office. At the time of writing, authorities have not been able to determine what sparked the blaze. While there were no signs of foul play, the circumstances surrounding the fire remain unclear. Investigators are likely examining multiple possibilities, including accidental causes such as electrical malfunctions or more deliberate causes. However, no official statements have been made regarding the origin of the fire. Because the fire was confined to the first floor of the house, it suggests that the blaze may have started in an area that was either near the kitchen or some form of appliance. The fact that the fire didn't spread to the rest of the house or nearby vegetation is fortunate, as it prevented what could have been an even more devastating situation. But the mystery of how the fire started continues to haunt investigators. The Rothschild family, whose fortune is estimated at $1 billion, made its wealth primarily through banking and investments across Europe, with branches in various countries including the UK, France and Germany. The family is one of the most storied and influential in the world of finance, dating back to the late 18th century. Will Rothschild's passing adds to the long and complicated history of the family, but his specific role within it remains somewhat unclear. Unlike some members of the Rothschild family who remain in the public eye, Will Rothschild lived a more private life. He had multiple properties and a collection of luxury cars, which suggested that he was far from struggling financially. However, his decision to keep to himself and avoid the spotlight has made it difficult to fully understand his impact or role within the family's vast wealth. His passing, while tragic, may offer a glimpse into the often hidden lives of some of the wealthiest people in the world. While Will Rothschild may not have been as publicly known as some of his relatives, his death nonetheless draws attention to the broader family legacy. The Rothschilds are widely known for their philanthropic work and contributions to the arts and culture, and their wealth has allowed them to influence various industries. Rothschild family members have been involved in numerous charitable activities, including support for Jewish causes, environmental initiatives, and cultural preservation. Will Rothschild, though private, likely shared in this tradition of giving, though his personal contributions are less well documented. The death of Will Rothschild has left the Hollywood Hills community in mourning. While Rothschild may have been a quiet and private figure, the news of his sudden death has reverberated throughout the neighborhood. The house fire, tragic as it was, has sparked conversations about his life, his wealth, and his impact both within the Rothschild family and in the community around him. The area where Rothschild lived is known for its stunning views and secluded homes, making it a desirable location for those looking to escape the hustle and bustle of city life. It's not uncommon for residents to keep a low profile, but even so, Rothschild's death stands out. Neighbors described him as a man who kept to himself, but was still a part of the community in his own way. His passing has prompted many to reflect on the quiet lives that often go unnoticed, even when they are tied to enormous wealth and history. Following Rothschild's death, the Rothschild family issued a brief statement expressing their grief. They described Will Rothschild as a private person, but acknowledged the sadness that his passing had caused. The statement expressed their condolences and highlighted the loss felt by the family and the community. "It is very sad," the statement said, echoing the sentiments of many in Hollywood Hills who had known him, or at least seen him around the neighborhood. As the investigation into the cause of the fire continues, questions remain unanswered. Was the fire accidental, or was there something more at play? Was Will Rothschild the victim of foul play, or did he simply fall victim to the unpredictable nature of fire? For now, only time will tell. In the coming months, more details will likely emerge about the fire, Rothschild's life, and the legacy he left behind. For now, the mystery remains, and the community continues to mourn the loss of a neighbor who, despite his wealth and family history, was just another person living in the shadows of Hollywood. Linked to Jacob Rothschild's demise. Jacob Rothschild's death in February 2024 and the subsequent passing of his relative, Will Rothschild, in a tragic house fire in Los Angeles on November 27, 2024, have created ripples throughout the tight-knit Rothschild family and the broader financial world. These deaths, which occurred within the same year, raise questions about the future of the Rothschild family legacy, particularly regarding succession and the handling of the vast fortune accumulated by the family over centuries. Jacob Rothschild, the 87-year-old British banking mogul, passed away in February 2024, ending an era for the Rothschild family. He was known for his contributions to both the financial world and philanthropic causes, including his leadership at RIT Capital Management, which he founded in 1961. With a fortune estimated at $1 billion, Lord Rothschild was not only a key figure in the British banking industry, but also a prominent philanthropist. He had served on the boards of various cultural and environmental organizations and was known for his close relationships with political figures, including advising Queen Elizabeth II on financial matters. Lord Rothschild's death marked the end of a significant chapter for the Rothschild family. His passing ignited a succession-style battle over the future leadership of his empire, with his children, especially his eldest daughter Hannah Rothschild, emerging as the most likely successor. Though his son, Nathaniel Rothschild, had long been expected to take over, tensions within the family, especially concerning Nathaniel's personal life, complicated matters. Hannah Rothschild, who already held a 10% stake in the family's key business, RIT Capital, and had a history of involvement in the family's charitable ventures, seemed poised to inherit the mantle of leadership. The family's wealth, which was largely tied up in RIT Capital, included investments in various industries such as real estate, energy, and high-end finance. As one of the wealthiest families in Europe, the Rothschilds have long held influence, but with Jacob's death, there was a clear sense that the dynasty was at a crossroads. His death came just 5 years after the passing of his wife, Lady Serena Rothschild, and it signaled a shift in the family's power dynamics. The question on many people's minds was, who would take charge of this vast fortune and how would the succession plan unfold? Less than a year after Jacob Rothschild's death, the Rothschild family experienced another loss. On November 27, 2024, Will Rothschild, a reclusive member of the family, tragically died in a house fire at his property in the Hollywood Hills. The Los Angeles Fire Department responded quickly to the blaze, containing it within 33 minutes, but tragically, they found Will's body inside the home. The cause of the fire was not immediately determined, and investigations were underway. Will Rothschild's death shocked the small community in which he lived, as he had long been known for leading a private, almost secretive life. Unlike the more public figures in the Rothschild family, Will had kept a low profile, living in a modest property that was largely unknown to his neighbors. Reports suggest that the property, a small two-bedroom house, had been vacant for much of the time, adding to the mystery surrounding Will's life and his death. The news of Will Rothschild's passing also raised questions about the family's next steps. While Will's position within the family hierarchy was less prominent than Jacob Rothschild's, his death still carried weight, especially considering the uncertain circumstances surrounding it. His death came on the heels of Jacob's, and it raised further concerns about the future of the Rothschild legacy. Will's quiet lifestyle and the sudden nature of his death added to the growing sense of unpredictability within the family. The deaths of Jacob and Will Rothschild in such close succession within the same year have sparked conversations about the future of the family's empire and its role in global finance. Jacob's death had already triggered a period of reflection and succession battles, but Will's death added another layer of complexity. While Jacob's death led to discussions about who would control the family's vast wealth, Will's passing introduced an element of mystery that made it harder for the public to understand the full scope of the family's internal dynamics. For the immediate family, these two deaths in such a short period could be seen as a turning point. With two key figures gone, it remains to be seen how the family will navigate the future of the Rothschild business empire. Will the family manage to retain control of its assets, or will outside forces come into play? Family members such as Hannah Rothschild, who has long been involved in the family's financial dealings, will likely take on a larger role in managing the family's wealth. But the absence of Jacob Rothschild and Will Rothschild may open the door for other relatives or even external parties to take on more influence. Moreover, the deaths have raised questions about how the family's fortune will be divided. Jacob Rothschild had 4 children, and tensions had already emerged over who would take the reins of the family's empire. While Nathaniel Rothschild had long been seen as the heir apparent, his strained relationship with his father and his somewhat controversial lifestyle made his succession less certain. Meanwhile, Hannah Rothschild's position in RIT Capital and her philanthropic work placed her in a strong position to lead, but the question of whether other family members might try to challenge her remains open. In the wake of these two deaths, the Rothschild family may be forced to make difficult decisions about how to preserve their legacy. Will they choose to keep the empire within the family, or will they look to outside advisors or potential buyers to safeguard the wealth? The family's long history in global finance, dating back to the 18th century, may be at a crossroads, as both Jacob and Will's deaths bring forward new challenges that could shift the balance of power within the family. The timing of these deaths, occurring within the same year, also carries broader implications for the financial world. The Rothschild family has been a fixture of global banking for centuries, and any changes within the family's leadership are sure to have ripple effects throughout the industry. Jacob Rothschild's death, coming at a time when the family was already dealing with succession issues, marked a significant transition for the Rothschild empire. However, Will's unexpected death added a sense of uncertainty and drama to the narrative, highlighting the fragility of the Rothschild dynasty and the possibility of further upheaval. The future of the Rothschild family will likely involve navigating tensions within the family, decisions about how to handle their vast assets, and potential challenges from outsiders looking to capitalize on the family's wealth. As the family members work through these issues, the financial world will be watching closely, as the Rothschild name still carries significant weight in global finance. Conspiracy theories around the Rothschild family. The Rothschild family has long been the subject of conspiracy theories. These theories, often steeped in mystery and intrigue, paint the family as powerful, secretive elites with global influence. Although many of these theories are exaggerated or unfounded, they have gained traction over time due to the family's immense wealth, historical significance, and connections to influential institutions. The Rothschild family's rise to power began in the late 18th century, with Meyer Amschel Rothschild, a Jewish banker in Frankfurt, Germany. Meyer's 5 sons expanded the family business across Europe, establishing banks in London, Paris, Vienna, and Naples. By the 19th century, the Rothschilds had become one of the wealthiest and most influential families in the world, with their financial networks playing a key role in funding major European governments and businesses. This wealth and power inevitably attracted attention, and as the Rothschilds continued to grow their influence, rumors and suspicions about their activities began to spread. The family's Jewish heritage also made them a target for anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. As their financial empire expanded, so did the myths surrounding it. These theories began to take root in the public consciousness, especially in Europe, where the Rothschilds' financial dealings were often seen as mysterious and opaque. One of the most persistent conspiracy theories surrounding the Rothschild family revolves around their role in global banking. According to this theory, the Rothschilds secretly control the world's financial systems and use their wealth to manipulate governments and economies for their own benefit. Proponents of this theory argue that the family has a hidden agenda to establish a new world order, a global government controlled by a small group of elites with the Rothschilds at the helm. The origins of this conspiracy can be traced back to the 19th century, when the Rothschild family was involved in financing major European wars, including the Napoleonic Wars. Their ability to lend large sums of money to governments, particularly during times of war, fueled suspicions that they were manipulating world events for profit. Over time, these suspicions evolved into more elaborate theories about the Rothschilds' supposed control over central banks and their role in orchestrating economic crises. The theory that the Rothschilds control the world's central banks is a common refrain in many conspiracy circles. Supporters of this theory point to the fact that the Rothschilds have had significant influence over institutions like the Bank of England, the Federal Reserve, and the European Central Bank. While it is true that the Rothschilds have had a role in the establishment of some of these institutions, there is no evidence to support the claim that they control them or that they manipulate global financial systems systems for their own gain. Linked to the banking conspiracy theory is the notion that the Rothschilds are key players in the establishment of a new world order, a secret global government controlled by a small group of elites. This theory suggests that the Rothschilds, along with other powerful families and organizations, are working behind the scenes to manipulate world events and establish a one-world government that will control all aspects of human life. The idea of a new world order has been around for centuries, but it gained prominence in the 20th century, especially after the publication of books like The Protocols of the Elders of Zion, an infamous anti-Semitic text that falsely claimed to reveal a Jewish plot to dominate the world. This book, which was widely circulated in the early 20th century, further fueled conspiracy theories about the Rothschilds and their supposed role in global domination. Supporters of the NWO theory often point to events like the creation of the United Nations, the European Union, and other international organizations as evidence of a concerted effort by elites, including the Rothschilds, to create a global government. They argue that the Rothschilds use their wealth and influence to push for policies that will bring about global unification, often citing the family's involvement in international banking and finance as proof of their far-reaching power. However, there is no concrete evidence to support the claim that the Rothschilds are involved in any global conspiracy or that they are working to establish a one-world government. The idea of a new world order remains firmly in the realm of conspiracy theory, with no verifiable facts to back up its claims. The Rothschilds are often linked to another popular conspiracy theory, the Illuminati. The Illuminati is said to be a secret society that controls world events from behind the scenes, manipulating governments, economies, and social movements to further their own agenda. According to conspiracy theorists, the Rothschilds are part of this secretive organization and use their financial power to influence world affairs. The Illuminati itself is a real historical organization, founded in 1776 in Bavaria, Germany. However, it was disbanded by the Bavarian government just a few years later in the late 18th century. Despite its brief existence, the idea of the Illuminati has persisted in popular culture and conspiracy theory circles, often being portrayed as an all-powerful secret society with members in high places. Some theorists claim that the Rothschilds are among the group's most influential members, using their wealth to fund the Illuminati's goals of global control. In reality, there is no evidence to suggest that the Rothschilds are involved with the Illuminati or that such a secret society continues to operate today. The connection between the Rothschilds and the Illuminati is largely a product of modern conspiracy theory and has no basis in historical fact. It is important to acknowledge the role that anti-Semitism has played in the development of conspiracy theories about the Rothschild family. As a Jewish family, the Rothschilds have long been targets of anti-Semitic propaganda and accusations of secret control over global affairs. This has been exacerbated by the family's immense wealth and influence, which has made them easy targets for those seeking to explain complex global events in simple, often scapegoating terms. The Rothschilds have been vilified in numerous works of fiction, including The Protocols of the Elders of Zion, a notorious anti-Semitic forgery that purports to show a Jewish conspiracy to dominate the world. This book, which was widely circulated in the early 20th century, played a significant role in spreading conspiracy theories about the Rothschilds and other Jewish families. The false claims in The Protocols have been debunked numerous times, but their influence persists in many corners of the world. Anti-Semitic conspiracy theories about the Rothschilds continue to circulate today, often intertwined with broader narratives about Jewish control of world events. These theories are not only false but also harmful, perpetuating harmful stereotypes and contributing to ongoing discrimination against Jewish people. The Rothschild family has been the subject of countless conspiracy theories, many of which are rooted in anti-Semitism and a general mistrust of powerful elites. While the family's wealth and influence have made them targets for such theories, it is important to recognize that most of these claims are baseless and without merit. Rothschild's net worth. The story of the Rothschild family's wealth began with Meyer Amschel Rothschild, a Jewish banker from Frankfurt, Germany. In the late 18th century, Meyer Amschel established a small but successful banking business. His connections with European nobility, including the Crown Prince of Hesse-Kassel, helped elevate the family's standing. Meyer Amschel had 5 sons, each of whom moved to different European capitals, London, Paris, Frankfurt, Vienna, and Naples, to establish branches of the family's banking business. This global presence allowed the Rothschilds to create one of the first truly international banks. The family's early financial success came in part from their involvement in major historical events. Nathan Mayer Rothschild, one of Mayer's sons, played a key role in financing the British government during the Napoleonic Wars and helped fund the army's efforts during the Battle of Waterloo. His financial acumen helped cement the family's wealth and influence in Europe. The Rothschild family's wealth is difficult to pinpoint exactly. Estimates of their total fortune vary widely, ranging from a conservative $1 billion to as much as $15.7 trillion. years. While the family is no longer the sole powerhouse it once was in global finance, its wealth remains vast, largely due to diversification into other industries over the years. Though the Rothschild banking empire is not as dominant as it once was, the family continues to maintain a strong financial presence. Their fortune today is spread across numerous investments, including banking, real estate, media, and more. Many of their assets are held privately, contributing to the difficulty of accurately estimating their total worth. While their early fortune was built on banking, the Rothschild family diversified into many other areas, ensuring that their wealth would endure for generations. Today, the family's investments span several sectors. The Rothschilds remain involved in the banking industry, though their influence is no longer as dominant as it was during the 19th century. N.M. Rothschild and Sons, one of the family's main banking institutions, continues to operate today. It provides investment banking and wealth management services, focusing on high net worth individuals and corporations. The Rothschild banking empire is smaller than it was in the past, but it still plays an important role in global finance, particularly in advisory roles for mergers, acquisitions, and international investments. In addition to N.M. Rothschild and Sons, other Rothschild family members have held positions in various financial institutions around the world, maintaining their prominence in the financial world. Real estate also has long been a key asset for the Rothschild family. They own vast amounts of land across Europe, including valuable properties in the United Kingdom, France, and Switzerland. Their holdings include both residential estates and commercial properties, contributing significantly to their wealth. The Rothschilds have a history of making profitable real estate investments, often acquiring prime land that appreciates in value over time. The family's properties also include vineyards and agricultural estates, which provide both income and long-term value. These real estate investments ensure that the Rothschild family's wealth continues to grow while maintaining a diverse portfolio of assets. In more recent years, the Rothschild family has expanded into the media sector. The family's business arm, Il Rothschild, has stakes in various media companies, including The Economist Group. This involvement in the media gives the family influence in global politics and economics, allowing them to have a hand in shaping public opinion and policy discussions. The family's interest in publishing and intellectual pursuits has allowed them to maintain their status and wealth in a changing world. Through their investments in media, the Rothschilds continue to influence key areas of modern society, including business, finance, and international relations. In recent decades, the Rothschild family has also focused on sustainability and environmental responsibility. David Rothschild, a notable family member, launched a sustainable clothing brand called The Lost Explorer. The brand sells high-end apparel and mezcal, with a focus on eco-friendly practices. This is part of a broader strategy to align the family's investments with the growing global emphasis on sustainability and climate change. The Rothschild family has also been involved in green energy initiatives, aiming to capitalize on the increasing demand for renewable resources. By investing in these sectors, the family not only helps the planet, but also positions itself in a rapidly growing industry. The Rothschilds continue to hold significant influence across various industries and in different parts of the world. Though the family's direct control over global finance has lessened, their involvement in banking, real estate, media, and sustainable ventures keeps them relevant in the global economy. Their legacy is built not only on the wealth they've amassed, but also on their ability to adapt to changing times and invest wisely in emerging sectors. Today, Rothschild family members are spread across Europe, Israel, and the United States. Some, like Emma Rothschild, a history professor at Harvard, focus on academia, while others, such as James Rothschild, have established careers in business and finance. The family's global presence ensures that their wealth and influence remain widespread. The Rothschild family's wealth, once built through banking and finance, has expanded into a wide range of industries over the centuries. Today, the family is involved in sectors like real estate, media, and sustainable investments, ensuring that their fortune endures into the future. While the exact value of the Rothschilds' net worth remains uncertain, it is clear that they continue to be one of the wealthiest and most influential families in the world. With assets spanning continents and industries, the Rothschild family is likely to maintain its financial power and influence for generations to come. Thank you for staying with us. If you enjoy our content, our newest videos are just a click away.